Even after we got done watching, you're like, should we tell people we're watching this? I feel dirty.
I had posted it and then I deleted it because I was like, when I posted it, we were on episode 3 because I was like, anybody watching this? And then after episode 4, I was like, maybe I shouldn't have put that I'm watching this.
Yay Networks.
Hey guys, episode 44.
Wow.
I know, right?
It didn't hit me till right when you said that. I'm like, wow, we did 44 of these.
I can't believe it. It's going by so fast.
Yeah. You having fun?
I was just about to say
You are?
that. Time flies when you're having fun.
You love doing this.
Yeah, no, I do. It's just, oh my gosh, it's been so busy with Lawson's sports schedule. I saw a meme on Instagram. It was so funny. It was like all excited and happy when you're signing your kid up for sports, and then you got to take them to all the practices and the games. And because the weather is so crazy in Denver with sports, it's like the worst season so yesterday I was outside in a tank top in the afternoon, felt like I was getting burnt, kept spraying sunscreen on myself. I was like, oh my gosh, it's so hot. I don't want to get burnt. And I went on a long walk. And then we had Lawson's game at 6:30, and I was wearing 2 layers of coats, and it was freezing and raining.
So, yeah, Lawson's games are usually on the weekend. Sometimes they're sprinkled in during the week. But the last 2 weekends, it's been so crazy here that he hasn't had any games.
Yeah, because of snow, and then you have to do these makeup games, and then it's almost like I prefer, instead of cramming 4 games in one Saturday, to kind of spread it out during the week.
Yeah, but what I was going to say is, so I think it was Saturday, I don't know, a couple of days towards the weekend. It was almost 80 degrees, like on Thursday, just say. Then on Friday, we were home, and I videotaped our deck, and it started hailing like marbles out of the sky, just pelting everywhere. And I was like, oh my God. So I filmed it. And then Saturday, it was
snowing.
Like a lot of snow.
Yeah. You were
And
like,
it
is
was supposed
this
to just rain?
supposed to be as much snow where I need to shovel?
Yes. That was like first. But it's just like, if I would have videotaped 3 days in a row, you would have thought I was in 3 different locations.
Yeah.
It was so crazy.
Well, they say in Denver, never plant anything till after Mother's Day.
Oh, and I did.
Yeah.
And then I went outside.
Hang on, you guys. I have to say this. I am the best bush trimmer. I'm really good at trimming bushes. And I keep admiring. We have this big bush. Half of it was like weighed down from the snow. And I was out there trimming, doing my thing. It's like it's getting a haircut. And it looks really good. And we laid new mulch. I get like really excited about that stuff. And then Jeff acts like he's 7 years old. Every time he goes to Costco, brings a new plant, new something in the house.
First of all, your bush trimmer thing's going to be a meme, by the way. And let me give, before you patted yourself on the back, I was going to say, to fit into the story, I planted these 2 like little, this is how old I'm getting. I really care about like plants and grass and all that stuff. But I planted these 2 little, they're called like foxtail ferns.
I like them.
I really like them, but I ordered them online because I couldn't find them in the store here. And they're like kind of small. And I planted them out there. It was like the first thing I did besides the grass. And then it started like hailing and snowing. So I went outside in the snow like an old man, and I put sticks in the planter and I covered it with a garbage bag.
Oh, you were so worried. You were like, are my foxtails going to die?
And you know what? We have a ring camera like where those plants look at. And I thought for sure you were going to like capture the ring camera of me, of me putting plastic bags over
I
those things.
should have looked.
I know. And I was like, oh my God. I only noticed when I walked back in the house. I'm like, Jordan's definitely going to use that.
Well, the other morning I couldn't find Jeff, and I'm like, Layton, where's your dad? And I was calling Jeff's name, and he wasn't answering me. And he goes, Mom, he's outside taking care of his plants. That's what he said to me.
Yeah, and I did plant 2 new little bushes out there.
Yeah, now Jeff's like, I don't want anybody to see us. Let's just keep planting more trees.
Yeah, if it was up to me, I would put 1,000 trees out there. I mean,
why are trees so expensive?
I don't know. It's a good business. Like if you buy a little tree, it's like $30. The same tree, like twice the height, is like 150.
Jeff said he was going to go up to the mountains and cut down a tree and bring it back and plant it. That's something you would do.
Because I think you could do it. Like obviously, you know, we live by the mountains and there's all these like little baby evergreen trees. Why can't I just shovel them out, like get the roots, throw them in a garbage bag, and then come back here, dig a little hole, and start planting them all over? Is that crazy?
So I'm surprised.
I don't know if that's possible, but I don't even know if it's legal.
Maybe not. You'll have what are the people in the mountains what are they called that work for the
Mounties?
No. That drive around in the trucks.
Oh, yeah.
And they wear
Park.
Yeah, what are they?
National
The rangers.
Oh, yeah, park rangers.
Yeah, you're going to have a park ranger after you.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
You'll
be banned from the national whatever parks here.
Yeah. Well, guess what? I'm going to try it one day. But anyways, yeah, I'm big into plants. I'm getting old. And then I got all the herbs from Costco against the window, and I know Jordan hates it. But when I cook, it's like the best. I made a steak the other day. I put fresh rosemary in there. Delicious. Then I got the dill, a little oregano. I made that oregano chicken.
Yeah.
That was with the fresh oregano. What are you looking at me crazy for?
Nothing. You love it. Good for you. The other day I made, I cut up tomato. I love tomatoes. Costco has really good tomatoes right now, and I'm very picky about my tomatoes.
Cool story.
What was it? Basil? Oh, you were like, oh, you could put the basil in your
yeah.
tomatoes. And I was like, no, I don't have mozzarella. You have to have it like all together.
You just dead ended that conversation.
Well, because I'm starting a new conversation.
Oh, you're bored
of your plants?
What do you call someone who takes care of plants?
I don't know.
Isn't it a horticulturist?
See, I'm yawning.
Is it something like You're bored. No, it's is bored. All right, let's switch subjects.
Okay, weight loss update. So I'm on my second week of not taking trizepatide. 2 weeks ago, upped the dose. It was way too much for me. I don't know if it's the weight loss shots or if it's me in my head. 4 years ago, had like a massive panic attack, thought I was having a heart attack. Went to the doctor because I was like, I am having a heart attack. And they were what is it, an EKG they strap? And they're like, we can see everything right now. You are perfectly fine. But it felt like a heart attack. Like when I have panic attacks, my arm will get numb.
I think that's in your head.
And it's my feet get tingly. I get cold and clammy. And then I go from hot and sweaty to like super cold. So this was 4 years ago. Never grew up with anxiety. Never had panic attacks. None of that. Never was on medicine for it. And then I think it was because we were buying a house. You were working a lot. The boys at the time were, like 1 and 3? It was just a lot of stress. And so I've been able to control my anxiety, and it's something I learn to deal with. And I'm trying to learn how to turn it off. I'm struggling a little bit, but I try to learn how to just I kept asking my doctor, I was like, and I love her. And I was like, I just don't get it. I was like, I don't know how I trigger it, and I don't know how I turn it off. And she goes, what happened was you upped your dose. You probably, it made you anxious.
You upped your dose of trizepatide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she goes, you got anxious, and you probably got in your head, and, you just caused yourself a panic attack. But it was like, 2 or 3 days of just nonstop anxious, and like my whole body was sore from being tense. And I have this medicine that I take if I do have a panic attack, and it always works. And it wasn't working because it was like, that's how bad my panic attack was. So I text my doctor, like, can I take another pill to help? And anyways, it was just, who knows, I don't think anybody knows really a lot of information about this medicine. It could have not been the medicine. It could have been me just in my head. And because I'm not saying anything bad about trizepatide, because one, I used it to kickstart my weight loss journey, and it did. And I'm still losing weight without taking the shots. So I'm like, I told the girl who I get my shots from, I was like, I don't think I need to take it if I'm, if it's working. Why not keep doing what I'm doing, watching what I'm eating and exercising, and I feel like I'm on a roll. And then when you start seeing results and your clothes are fitting better, then you get more motivation. I needed that motivation because January, February, and mid-March, I wasn't seeing any results, not even just the scale, but like with the way my clothes were fitting. and I was starting to get really discouraged. So that's why I started the Trizepatide. I'm not trying to be, I said this on my Instagram stories today, I'm not trying to be the skinniest version of myself. I'm not trying to be 120-pound Jordan when she was in her 20s. I'm trying to be just healthy, feel good, my clothes feel good, and everything to fit. I'm closer to 40 now. So I think too, when people lose the weight too fast, too much, that's when you kind of get that scary look. To me, it looks scary, like, your face looks
like,
drunk.
for example, like Scott Disick.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if anyone's seen him out there, but he's got like that sunken eye look, and he looks sick.
Yeah.
But again, I don't even know if that's from weight loss drugs, but that's the example of that, what we were talking about.
Right.
An example.
And I just, all 2024 for me right now is like a wellness journey. It's to be healthier. It's to really be the healthiest I've been, because I was getting sick a lot kind of last year because probably drinking, not eating right. I mean, I'm still walking, but not being the healthiest of me. Now I'm like incorporating vitamins, I know AG1 is a sponsor on here, but seriously, do love AG1 and drink it every morning. And if I don't want to eat and I'm like, just don't want to eat something, I'm making protein shakes now to try to get some of that protein in. I'm not starving myself, walking 4 or 5 miles. And like I said, it's a journey. It's probably me doing this on my own. It's probably going to be a year before I get it all off. I have a long way to go, but I'm making progress, and that's like the motivation. And that was the whole point of taking Trizepatide. It wasn't, and I should have known, but I didn't know. I thought I had to jump up the dose like I did. And that was a lesson learned for me. I'm new to this, and, still my blood work has come back great. Everything has come back great. So I know I'm on the right path.
Yeah. You look great.
Working on it.
Yeah, you do. You could tell, and you look great. But more than that, I think, it's trial and error with everybody's body. So I think people appreciate you being honest about it, because it's not all great. And I'm sure everyone has their back steps,
Right.
And for you, I think you just went too high, and you got to find that
balance.
Right?
My good balance was at the smallest dose where I was at. Couldn't even tell I was taking Trizepatide. I was still eating. I wasn't nauseous. I still had a lot of energy. I felt really good. But as soon as I upped it, like I said, it was too much. It just knocked me down.
Yeah, you were like house ridden.
Yeah.
You weren't bedridden, but you wouldn't even leave the house, and you didn't get anything done.
That's the anxiety.
I know, but I'm saying that it's not worth the weight.
No, it's not.
There's other things you could do to lose weight if that was to continue. I understand it was just a couple days.
I did ask my doctor. I said, I wanted to ask you, I was having like panic attack after a panic attack. I go, a lot of your patients say this? Because I was curious, because I don't think anybody really knows a lot about these shots, and I'm sure they're not great for you. That's why I don't want to be on them for so long. And she said, only you and one of my other patients are the only people out of everybody that said they have anxiety.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, that's what I mean. It's only been around for 2 years, I think.
Yeah.
These shots.
But everybody, I see why people want to do it. I know there's a lot of hate, and it's very confrontational with people, but
I don't know why.
Everybody wants to look their best. I think it's more embarrassing when you lie and it's obvious you take it. Right?
Yeah, I don't understand.
Like celebrities.
Yeah.
You see, and they're like, I've just been working out. I've been in the gym. And you're like, no, there's no way you dropped that much weight that fast.
Yeah, I think it's a little irresponsible of celebrities. I'm talking celebrity-wise now. I got like my show hat on. Because so many people look up to them and follow them. And if they're promoting a product that they don't actually use just because they're getting paid for it, and other people think that's why they're losing the weight, whatever the product is, and it's really because they're taking shots, that's not fair to the consumer, because their favorite celebrity that they follow, they're like, I'm going to do exactly what they did, when they're not giving them the full information.
Right.
That's why it's irresponsible for celebrities, in my opinion.
Well, you said you just interviewed Ricky Lake. And Ricky Lake, and you were talking about how great she looks. And if you don't know who she is, she was a talk show host in the 90s. But what did she say?
She Well, she was so great, by the way, because Ricky Lake, I mean, I think everybody knows who Ricky Lake is, right? Everyone watched the Ricky Lake show, but she looks terrific. She seems so happy. She said she's got a place in Malibu overlooking the ocean. Who wouldn't be happy there? But she was on the keto journey, kind of like me. You know, she said she kind of got off it a little bit, but I did too. But I was pretty strict from the beginning of the year, and I lost 15 pounds myself from the beginning of the year.
But there still are people that I've seen this through Instagram that say bad things about keto. Like,
of course.
And there's always something. That's when, going back to what we talked about last episode, too much information out there.
Too many opinions.
Too many opinions. And then that's when you start stressing yourself out. And I think that's when I have to block things off.
Well, you got to do what's right for you. You can't really, it's good, like, for people listening to give your example, but don't push a certain thing onto anybody. And I know you don't. And I'm very cautious of that, because I try a lot of different things, and it might be the keto, but I stopped drinking in January, and I work out every day, and I try to test my body like at least once a month or every other month and pull something from my diet, whether it's cheese or yogurt or something that I really like. And I always experiment with my body. But what I found out that works for my body was that keto diet, like exercising keto. And really what I think mostly the keto was, and now I eat fruits and vegetables and all that stuff, but I cut out carbs since the new year. No pizza, no sandwiches, no pasta, no rice. I cut all that out. And for me, my body took to that. So I lost 15 pounds. That's what works for me. And I know there's a million trendy celebrity diets out there. I think you just got to experiment with your body and see what works for you.
You're one of those people that you're so healthy, and you do take care of yourself. You love having drinks, and you know how they say if you have more than one drink a week, that's bad for you. But you are one of those people that are really good about your health. And that's why when you were saying like AG1, when you were buying it before they were even a sponsor, that's why I was like, oh, well, if he's buying it and he always takes care of himself, I'm doing it too. Well, I wanted to take better care of myself.
Yeah, and I did it to cut down on my vitamins, because then I got, you know, I was doing research on certain vitamins, and you need this and mixed with this. And I was trying all these different, you know, supplement cocktails, you know, so to speak. And I don't know if any of them were working, and I kind of got rid of all those. This sounds like an ad for AG1. We just like the product. Yeah. It's good that we do that just for our routine. But again, it's something that you got to find out for your own body. And I kind of like, I'm kind of sick in this way that I like to deprive myself of something. I like to challenge myself. Like during Lent, you know, I don't go to church every Sunday, but I like to do Lent every year because I like to challenge myself for those 40 days and know that I could do whatever I try to take away or put into my life, you know?
But I feel like it's so confusing sometimes, because like when I just went to the doctor and had her check me over to make sure I was good, and she was like, you're good. And I went Monday, and it's like, okay, well, I'm taking this multivitamin, but I'm also drinking, I told her I'm drinking this AG1, but then I'm also doing this other stuff. And I got that Cerevital stuff. And it's just, I'm like, wait, am I taking too much? What am I doing?
Right.
You know, because I want to make sure that if I don't want to eat really, and I'm trying to drink protein shakes, I'm trying to make sure like I'm good and I'm not deficient on anything.
Right.
But then it gets confusing, because you see on Instagram and these coaches, and they're like, you want to be in a calorie deficient. Oh, your cortisol levels are high. That's why you're gaining weight. And it's so confusing. And I'm like, oh, I wish I had like a nutritionist or somebody to come talk to me.
I think the easiest way to, again, do your own thing, calories in, calories out, right? Yeah. You exercise, and especially for me or for people getting up there in age, get your blood work done.
Yeah.
See what you're deficient in. And if you do experiment with your body like I do and take things out of your diet and put things in, definitely get your blood work done. So, you know, you could keep an eye on that stuff, because that's what's most important. But let's take a quick break. Wow, that was a health kick. Little segment with the Kentucky Derby around the corner, where I'm going to ruin my body.
Shout out to Claritin for supporting this episode and providing us with samples.
Spring is in the air, Jordan, and you know what that means?
What?
Seasonal allergies.
Oh, I have the worst seasonal allergies. My nose gets all stuffy. My eyes get itchy and watery.
You know, I really notice when, you know, the seasons come around, you start opening your windows and it's like the best sleep, that crisp air.
Oh, I love it.
But when I wake up in the morning, it's almost like I'm hungover because the allergies, like my nose is stuffy, my eyes are a little red.
Watery.
Exactly. And it's
itchy.
all from the allergies in the air.
Yes.
Then luckily, Claritin D is here to help.
Ready to live as if you don't have allergies? It's time to live Claritin Clear.
Fast and powerful relief is just a quick trip away. Find Claritin D at the pharmacy counter.
Ask for Claritin D at your local pharmacy counter. You don't even need a prescription, and I love that because I hate waiting in the lines.
Go to Claritin.com right now for a discount so you can live Claritin Clear.
Use as directed.
All right, what do you got? Welcome back.
I know. Welcome back. Talking about shows. So, first one.
Dude, what's up with your heels?
Oh, they look so bad. I need to go get a pedicure.
That looks like a hoof, not a heel. Oh my God.
I walk around outside barefoot.
No.
It's good for you. It says it levels you and you're grounded. That's what they say. So I take my sandals off and I walk on the concrete.
We got to go.
I haven't been walking on the grass because it's fertilized and there's chemicals on it. So I've just been walking.
Take care of that.
Oh, well, I'll get a pedicure tomorrow.
It's like Dumb and Dumber. Like. All right. Sorry.
Okay. So what am I talking about? Oh, we are watching this show. It's called Jinx. It's a documentary. We watched Jinx before kids.
The Jinx came out in like 2015.
Yes. And it's about this guy, Bob.
Everybody knows the Jinx.
Really?
I'm pretty sure.
Somebody might not. If you don't know, watch it. This guy murdered 3 people and he got away with it. He comes from a very rich family, real estate, right?
Everybody knows this story.
I'm just saying it in case somebody doesn't.
Oh, okay.
And so anyways, part 2 now just came out. But how they left.
His name's Robert Durst.
And he has black eyes, y'all. He doesn't have any pupils. I tell Jeff all the time, I'm like, look at that guy's eyes. He is like straight up evil. He's weird.
You know what's funny? In the last episode, they're only 2 episodes in. I don't know. I mean, if you haven't seen it, 1000% watch it.
The ending of part 1, I'm not going to say what happened, but you have to watch the ending on part 1.
I'm pretty sure everyone has seen it.
Okay.
But you know what's funny? In the last episode, because they're on season 2 now. I mean, spoiler alert, the guy's dead, but he died a couple of years ago. But they did a follow-up story. But I like the part where they showed Fred Durst, and he's wearing a shirt, and it says, "Not Robert." Did you see that part?
Oh, I didn't see that. No.
Yeah, they put that in there.
Because didn't somebody we were watching it, the 2 lawyers that they thought they were representing
that's in the new
Limp
series.
Bizkit. Yeah. So
that's
funny.
where they put
and
that
they're
in
these young lawyer kids and they were so excited and they were like, no, Robert Durst. But anyways, the guy is a weirdo, psycho dude.
If you haven't seen the Jinx, it's from 2015. We just gave you a little treat, so we won't spoil it.
I won't spoil it.
But if you haven't seen it, watch it and you'll be like, what?
And the guy just rambles and just
what an idiot for doing that documentary. Like he
murdered 3 people.
He had so much money that he thought he could never. Really, that was his mentality. Like, I have so much money, I am above the law and this world, and I could do whatever I want, and I won't get caught. And you know what? I will film a documentary, even though I killed 3 people. Let's just film this, and I'll talk my way out of it. That's where his mind was. That's what money does to you. Like, if you have that much money, that the rules just don't apply to you. You know?
Who did his money go to? Was he married?
Well, did you see? Well, now in the episodes, they show people from his past kind of sponging on him and visiting him in jail and stuff. And so everyone's trying to get paid. So if you still visited him in the end, he probably cut you off a slice, you know? But whatever. Let's talk about a different show that is currently airing on Netflix, but we finished the series. It's called Baby Reindeer.
Baby Reindeer. And, okay. It's about this lady who is a stalker, But it gets really okay.
It's a true story.
It's a true story. And we watch episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, all about this lady stalking him. He's working in this bar, trying to be a comedian. And we get to episode 4. Episode 4 was so messed up and so dark and
it's disturbing, for sure.
Very disturbing. I was like, are we watching the same show? I'm trying to be vague because I'm trying not to give anything away if somebody's not caught up or if somebody hasn't watched it. But you're going to see it and be like, oh.
It's super interesting because it's a true story. And the guy who wrote it, the guy it happened to in real life is the real actor that you see in the series. That's the same guy it happened to. And he said he tried to disguise who the stalker was, who Martha was.
Oh,
and I guess she's pretty much similar. So people figured out who she was. Now she wants to sue for like defamation. Oh. And so again, I don't want to give too much away, but he is trying to be a comedian. This is all filmed in England and stuff. And he's trying to get into acting and, you know, just kind of like Hollywood here, right? But where it gets disturbing, and if you watched it, you know why, and if you don't, beware of episode 4. I wonder how many people in Hollywood
that has happened to
that get taken advantage of in that way.
That's exactly what I thought while watching it.
Because they want to make it so bad.
Yes, that's exactly what I thought while watching it. I was like, there is somebody watching this documentary right now that wanted to be a model, an actor, actress, so bad in LA and had this same thing happen to them and nothing happened. They were just getting taken advantage of.
Right. But I mean, look at like the Harvey Weinsteins. It's proof like that it actually happens. And casting couches are real. And people who don't even make it that far. I mean, I think there's a lot of people out there that are desperate, willing to do anything for just a little taste of that fame. You know?
That's sad to me.
It is sad. And I think there's a lot of, obviously, Hollywood's filled with broken dreams. And I think, unfortunately, that happens more often than people know. And I guess if you were beating around the bush here, you kind of allude to what we're talking to, but we don't want to spoil too much. Yeah. But it's a wild show.
Well, one of my friends had posted, she watched it and she goes, I loved it, but now I don't know. Because now it got so dark and twisted that I don't know. But then this guy's just telling his story. So then you're like, did this actually happen? Like, that is so sad.
Yeah, but I mean, for him, it's pretty,
and
like
how it messes you up.
But for him to cathartically write that and then act it out, I bet that was
therapy.
It was probably some form of therapy. Like, in some form. If you watch it, this guy's definitely going to win. Don't you think he's going to win an award?
I thought he did fantastic.
Like the way he expresses his emotions, how goofy he is, how emotional he is, how just everything in between.
And how he explains each thing. He's like, Martha came in the bar again in the morning, meeting me where she always was. And then it shows Martha walking in. You jerk, you didn't answer me.
You got to do it in a Scottish accent.
I can't do it in a Scottish accent. But then she writes him after she just like mentally abused him.
Well,
y'all just watch it.
Yeah, and you could Google how many like email. I forgot we did it on our show, like hundreds of thousands of emails.
She was recording him.
Again, we don't want to give away too much because I want you guys to. If you haven't watched it, I don't want to spoil it. But I was going to say,
don't watch it. Don't watch it around your children.
No. Even after we got done watching it, we're like, should we tell people we're watching this? I feel dirty.
I had posted it and then I deleted it because I was like, when I posted it, we were on episode 3 because I was like, anybody watching this? And then after episode 4, I was like, maybe I shouldn't have put that I'm watching this, and I deleted it.
Do you know what it is, I think? And I've been trying to figure, I think it's because he's so good, at least in my mind, and he's so descriptive, and it's so detailed that you almost feel like you're there or you know them. So then when that stuff happens, you know, that's so graphic in episode 4, you're like, why would you do that to my friend? You know, like you almost want to try to help him in some way. And that's like,
I'm like, get out of there. What are you doing?
Yeah, like you want to be his friend and be like, don't go back there. What are you doing, man?
Yeah. I'm like, this is going to happen to you again and again and again.
So I think
but then
that's
he's
what
showing, like this psychological part of it.
Right, which is fame. Fame is bringing him back.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Then the one part, he had a mental breakdown and he acted so good. I told Jeff, I said, wow, how he did that.
When he confesses on stage.
Yeah, don't say anything.
I won't. I know we're kind of, if they don't know what we're talking
Yeah.
about, if they haven't seen it, but they're probably intrigued now. And then when you watch it and you see episode 4, you're like, oh my God, Jeff and Jordan are, what's wrong with them?
Yeah,
But
well,
it's-
we're telling you, it's
I think that's what it is. I think he's so good that you kind of fall into, and that's good acting. Like if it could take you out of what you're doing and really bring you in to what's going on the screen, that's what great actors do. And I really do. I think he's going to win. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think even Martha, the girl who plays Martha,
thought she did
might
good
win
too.
something. Yeah.
I thought she did a really good job. Okay, let's take a break. And then some of you requested that we do Am I the Asshole Again? So Riley, our producer, put some together, and we're going to do that on the next.
I think you say Riley was the asshole.
No.
Just kidding, Riley. We love you. All right. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. We're going to play that little game in Am I the Asshole? But this is a little different, okay? We're just setting up little scenarios. We have a couple of them here, but I'll read you the first one, and then we'll see how it goes, see how your answers. I haven't read this either, so bear with me here. You know how my reading skills are.
Yeah.
All right. Would I be the asshole if I forced my son to end his relationship if his grades don't go up? This is maybe a question for the future.
Oh, I think that's a little harsh.
Why didn't you even read the scenario yet?
Okay, I know. Keep going.
All right. My son Brady, 16 male, has always been a great student. Several of his teachers have told me he's one of their best students. I never had to worry about him not doing homework or studying, and he is currently taking all the AP and honors as a junior.
Oh, wow.
Good for him.
Good for him.
So far, so good. He began dating a girl last semester and his grades have plummeted this semester. I know for a fact it's because he's spending most of his time either with his girlfriend or talking to her on the phone. I've caught her talking to him at 11 on a school night. I've never been a very strict parent. I never needed to be, but I'm considering forbidding him from dating her until his grades go up. There's still a little more.
Young.
There's still a little more.
Immature and probably young love, but if his grades are plummeting really bad, then I mean, but if that girl really respects him and cares about him, she would be respectful and to what his parents say. If his parents were like, you need to be off the phone at 10 o'clock, you're done, then the girlfriend doesn't need to
At
be
16,
calm.
you think you understand all that?
No, I mean, we're not there yet, but I'm sure, I definitely will be intervening if I think something's wrong. If Lawson or Leighton, whoever they dated, and if I had a problem with something, I would definitely not be afraid to say something as a parent.
Let me finish the rest of the scenario, and then we'll kind of go from there. It's going to be finals week in his school in a couple of weeks. He should be able to turn his grades around if he does well on them. And to me, it seems like the only way for that to happen is if I order him to come straight home after school and take away his phone. At 16, that's tough, huh? I've tried talking to him about how his grades have gone down, and he brushed me off by saying that the teachers are being unfair or that everyone did poorly on an exam. I believe him at first, but now it's been multiple exams and projects he's flunked. So would I be the asshole?
No, I think the parent is just being concerned for his kid, and the parent needs to do what's best for his son because some people do, and some people marry the person that they've been with since they were 15, but is he really going to probably marry this girl? Maybe not. Chances are no. He'll probably go off to college, a good college, and meet somebody else. But there needs to be boundaries. Like the parent needs to set boundaries with his kid and even though it might be hard because your kid's 16 and going to fight with you, but that girl too should know what the boundaries are and respect that. I would if I
No, I
was
agree. I agree with
16
everything you said.
and dating a guy at 16 and his parents were like, listen, you guys can't be on the phone. There were no cell phones then, but well, actually maybe cell phones were just out, but not everybody had one like they do now. And a parent said something to me, I'd be like, okay, but dad needs to sit down with the boy and the girl and be like, here is the rules. This is what's going on. And if that girl is a good girl, she will respect the dad's wishes.
All right. So if it comes to the kid, I'm just going to add some more to the story here just for fun. But okay, so it comes to now, you were in honors class, or Lawson was Layton was in honors class, and all of a sudden he's failing everything now. So do you contact the girl's parents at some point?
Oh, I would.
Really?
If the girl was still calling and they were talking at 10 o'clock at night after I told her not to call and that they weren't on the phone, yes, I would be calling her parents, and I'd be like, this is what the rules are. His grades are dropping, and this is what's going on, and this is my house.
All right, let's do a little role play. I'll be the parent of the girl, and you call me. No. Yeah, just see how it would go. How would you? And I'll be, I'm just playing devil's advocate here. So go ahead, give me a call.
That's so weird.
Yeah, Mr. Johnson, just give me a ring.
Ring. You gotta say hello.
Oh, okay. Hello, this is Mr. Johnson.
Mr. Johnson, hi, this is Jordan, Lawson Schroeder's mom.
Oh, yeah, you've been talking to Sarah.
Oh, you love the name Sarah. The other night I sat down.
I'm being generic.
I sat down with Lawson and Sarah, and I told them the rules, and I told Lawson that he can't be on the phone at 11 o'clock. He said 11 o'clock. Lawson can't be on the phone at 11 o'clock at night. His grades have been dropping, and I just want you to be aware that I don't know if your daughter's grades are dropping, but if Sarah doesn't start listening to what I said, Lawson and Sarah will not be dating.
Oh, well, that's funny because I heard a completely different story, and Sarah's grades are the best they've ever been. And I actually was going to give you a call because I think Lawson is the problem.
Lawson's the problem?
What are you laughing at?
No, I don't know. This is so weird.
Stay in character.
Okay. Cause
you wouldn't get fired up if someone said Lawson was the problem?
Yeah, I would say.
So what's up? Let's hear it.
Your daughter must be a whore then.
Wow, mic drop. All right.
I just
Let's
did
into
it.
that scenario. Oh, yeah? Well, your daughter's a whore. All right, so we got a lot to look forward to. Good to know. Good to know. All right. That was great. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
Then I'd have to fight Mr. Johnson. Me and Mr. Johnson would roll over my nice new lawn.
What about Mrs. Johnson? We don't know where Mrs. Johnson's from. Maybe Miss Johnson comes over here storming.
Right,
I've had my mom do something like that when I was younger. My goodness. My mom is like the tiniest, littlest thing, and she's sweet, but boy, can she be so mean and turn into
I think that's how, I mean, I have no idea how it works, but I think, I'd be protective of my kid if I got it.
Yeah.
But you were very nice on the phone call. I'm the one who, Mr. Johnson stepped in.
Yeah. If the parent threw a little jab at me about my son, which they're not going to.
You go right to whore.
Oh, yeah. I'd be like, well, your daughter's on the phone too much. What is she doing? Obviously, he's in lust. What? I'm reading you one?
Yeah, well, let's see. Let's do another scenario.
Okay.
And see if it ends the same way.
Okay.
The first one's good because I read the first. I read the front one.
Oh, am I the asshole to refuse to spend my day off gardening? Okay, we'll do this one.
It kind of brings it full circle. We'll end
Okay.
with this one.
Am I the asshole for refusing to spend my day off gardening? I have requested tomorrow off of work to relax. A mental health day is much needed. My plan was to play video games, watch Netflix, read, and just chill out at home. I told my girlfriend about my day off plans, and how much I was looking forward to just disconnecting for the day. My girlfriend went to see her mom yesterday, and her mom mentioned she was planning to do some gardening over the weekend. My girlfriend told her mom that I was off of work and I would come over and do it for her since she is over 60 and struggles to do the gardening. My girlfriend mentioned this to me and I refused to do it. I told her she knew I was planning on relaxing and I didn't want to spend my only day off working. My girlfriend said her mom needs someone to help and it will only take a few hours. I just repeated that I want to spend my day off relaxing. My girlfriend said I was just being selfish. It's not that big of a deal, and I should want to help her mom out. Am I the asshole for saying no to sticking to my plans?
Wow. That's a good one.
I don't think you should have to.
I need more details. How long you been dating? What's going on?
I think more details too. How many hours a week do you work? Like all of that. Like, have you been, what's your job like? Is it super stressful? Like for you to just sit at home and just like.
The video games thing kind of threw me off.
That made me think they're younger.
And it made me think like they play a lot of video games. It's not like they don't work. They work 6 days a week, 8 hours a day. And then that one day they play video games. I don't know why. I just feel like video games are a little addictive. So I think he just wants to play video games. My answer would be you got to go over there and help for a couple hours. Even if you don't want to do it. You knuckle up, you go over there, have lunch, make your girlfriend happy, score some brownie points with the mom, and then go play. And then you could play video games guilt-free. That would be my answer.
Yeah, because how are you going to play video games when your girlfriend's mad? She's just going to throw jabs at you all day.
Yeah, and you're like playing Grand Theft Auto and,
yeah,
you can't even focus.
I don't know. I feel, again, it depends on what your job is, what you do. This seems like a young kid to me. It's not somebody that's older. Like if I was older, I would go help the person, the mom.
All right.
But that's just my personality. Oh, I call him retired neighbor. He needed help with his tree. His tree was bending too much, so he needed to tie it, and he always helps me with my yard. Well, I had just painted my nails, and he's like, hey, he texted me, I need you to come over. I'm trying to tie this tree, and I couldn't say no, and my nails were still wet. And I was like, oh, shoot. And I had to hold the shovel up to hold the branch so he could tie it. And my nails, I could just see all the paint coming off, and I was like, dang it. I was like, but he always helps me. So I'll do my nails over again. And,
See, you knuckled up.
I did. I knuckled. Yeah, because that's the right thing to do is to help. So I was like, whatever. I won't worry about my nails. But then like last night, I'm like, I hope nobody looks at my fingers because I just left it. And then I repainted them this morning.
Oh, I think Rich would have been like, if you would have told him I just did my nails.
He would be like, are you serious? No, he would have been like, oh, no problem.
I think he would have let it go. He would have been like, all right.
No, but he always helps me. So I was like, I can't not help him.
Do you ever watch? I don't know why I thought about this stupid thing. I don't want to close. You ever watch? I always watch Arrested Development, like reruns. And there's this guy Tobias in there. He's like he's bald. He's a comedian, but he plays this guy Tobias in the show. And he's like a wannabe actor in the show. And he breaks like this vase, and Michael, the character's like, hey, Tobias, could you help me with this? And he gives him a broom. He goes, no. He goes, I can't. I have an audition tomorrow. And I just want to use that for everything.
It's true.
Could you help me with this? No.
That's how I want to do at this time of the day. I'm like, no. When my kids ask for anything, I'm like, ask your father.
All right, let's wrap it up.
All right. Hope you loved this episode. Thank you again for listening, downloading, subscribing, tagging your friends, and we will see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.